Hello Stampers, welcome back to my studio. This is Deb Valder, and today I want to show you how to do a movement card. It is a repetition card that actually has, it makes it look like your object is moving. You can see that it gets lighter and lighter as it goes on. I happen to use the car from the Guy Greeting set, which is also part of my May 2015 class of the month. And it's a very versatile set. So in this one I'm actually going to use the little car. So let's start with the little car right here. I'm going to take and use my Stamp-A-Majig because I love my Stamp-A-Majig. I'm going to, you don't have to, you can actually just kind of eyeball it. And what I mean by that is you can actually stamp it right here, then lift it up and over and stamp again, and up and over and stamp again. But I like to be kind of precise about the whole thing. So I'm just going to take and put my car where I want it to be, and it happens to be right there. I'm going to put my Stamp-A-Majig on. I pre-stamped this. I'm going to put my Stamp-A-Majig on there. I'm going to open up my Early Espresso ink and just ink up the stamp. And this is going to be full strength. Now you'll notice that I'm not going to re-ink this, and that's because we want to get the lighter versions of this. So now what I'm going to do is just take and put this on above and over just a little bit. But before I do that, I need to grab inside my in my case. I always put my little masks, and I've made a bunch of these so that I could use them and reuse them. You don't have to throw them away after you use them just once. So what I need to do is I need to mask this one, just like this. And what I do is I do put it over just a hair, okay, just like this. I want to be able to see a little bit of the car. And the reason I do that, otherwise you get a halo in between there, and sometimes that doesn't look real great. So I'm just going to put it up and over just a little bit. So now I want my car to come from here. Add my Stamp-A-Majig. Now remember, I did not re-ink this stamp at all. I'm going to use it again. So here is this. I'll huff on it just to re-moisten it. And I'm going to stamp down right over my mask. You see my mask right there? I stamped right over it. And you can see that here we have the dark car and then a lighter one. You're not going to re-ink this one again. We're going to take and just go up and over. Remember to see just a little bit of the car. We're going to put this up and over just one more time. Add my Stamp-A-Majig. And like I said, you can do this without the Stamp-A-Majig, but I just love doing it with my Stamp-A-Majig. My mask is on there, and I'm just going to stamp it down. And you see how much lighter that one is? So it looks like the car is actually moving. It was here, and then it was here, and now it's here. So that's that part of it right there. The next thing that I did was I stamped my car onto just a scrap sheet of paper, and I cut it out. Now you'll notice that I didn't cut out the little lines, the little grass pieces underneath there, or the road, and that's because you don't have to. When we pop this up with our mini glue dots, or with our pop dots, dimensionals here, you're not going to see any of that. You're not going to, I don't mean you're not going to see it, I mean you're going to see the bottom part of it, and it's going to look like it's three-dimensional. So I'm just going to take and put these dimensionals on here. I'm going to pop it on here, and let me just show you what I mean. Okay, so that just fits right over the top of that, just like that. And then you see how you can see the bottom? You can see the grass underneath it, and it makes it look like it's even more 3D because it's popped up and over the road part of it. So there's that. So the next part to the card is going to be this background piece right here, and I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it's got some beautiful diagonal lines on it, and I did that with my scoring board. It is a big piece right here, and I put my diagonal lines on it. Okay, this is a separate piece, so I put my diagonal lines on here, and I pre-did this one, but I want to show you how to do it just so that you know. I started over here at the 0, and I made my line, and then I went from the 0, I skipped one, and I went to the next line, and I made another diagonal line. I went over to 1, skipped one, and did again, and I went over to 2, and then skipped one, and went to that one, and then I went to 3. You get the idea, and then you skip the next one, and just go over to the 1/4 inch mark. So here's 4. Skip the 1/8 and go over to the 1/4 inch mark. And then when you go to do this one over here, you're going to do the same thing. I like to just kind of feel around where it is, and then just drag it down, go down 1, and you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so that's the way I did my diagonal lines. And then you're going to turn it and do the same thing. And this is what makes it out to be your diagonals, okay? So we're just going to keep doing that. This is just a really fun little way to get some dimension and texture to your card. Isn't that nice? Okay, so once we're done with that, we're going to take and start adding our layers to our card. So here we are with our card base, and I'm just going to add my diagonal lines. This is crumb cake, and I'm adding it to early espresso. And then we have this piece right here. But before we put this piece on, what we need to do is to add our linen thread. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of this just to get it started. And then I have, I've shown this in a video before, so you can look on my YouTube videos, but I have my linen thread inside here. I just grab old, I just get them at flea markets and antique stores, old spools, and I wrap around my baker's twine and my linen thread, and then this is just a cheese shaker. And I put them in there, and it's just so much easier and more organized than just taking and trying to use it off the spool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around like this. I started it on the back, and I'm going to wrap it around once, and then you go from this side down to the back. You're going to go over. Let's do it on the other side. Hold on. I want to do it down here where there's no picture. So we're going to start it right there. We're going to go around, and then we're going to go up to the top, and then we're going to go back down like this to the bottom, and then back around to the top. Is anybody seasick yet? And then we'll just cut it off. See? We're just going to cut it off right there. And we're done. Okay, so now we can tighten it up by just moving it around. And you can take and put them as close or as far away as you want. Like I said, these are, you can even add, maybe I'll add a little bit of twine to the middle and just put a knot in there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add dimension by putting our dimensionals on the back, and it also holds, this is where I said you can take and you can kind of move them around a little bit. So if you want these to be closer together, let's just add our little mini glue dot there, or not mini glue dot, but our dimensionals. And I'm going to add one right here to tighten this one up. So that would be this one right here. So that's in place. And I'll just add one right here. And now we have our dimensionals on the back. Let me just add one more in the corners. One here and one on this side. Alrighty, so here is this layer. And the last thing that we need to do is to add our candy dots. And these are our neutrals candy dots. And I usually add them with my paper snips. So I'm just going to take and add 3 of these. The early espresso ones. You can tell the difference between chocolate chip and early espresso. And we're just going to add one there. I'm just picking them up with my scissors. And one here. And I like a third one right here. And that is your card. This is my movement card. Like I said, it's just a very simple card. This is part of my May 2015 masculine card class. It's the class of the month, and I just absolutely love it. If you have any questions, give me a buzz. I love to hear from you. Take care, have a great day, and hop on over to my blog.